If a man has the ability, the mind, the mental sharpness, and the fortitude to come into your life and provide real infrastructure, then he is a provider. There are seasons in a person's life where they 50 might not look like half the bills, but if he shows up in other ways to supplement and make it make sense, you gotta understand that. And I'm sorry, ladies, I'm not sending this as a shot to discourage you. Send it as a shot to wake up. If the only thing you know of provision is a paycheck, you know nothing of it. If that's what you think a man being a provider is, you have no clue what a real provider is supposed to do. That's why so many kept women are lonely.
All right, ladies, I just heard this clip, and I gotta say, this one hit deep. The speaker said, if the only thing you know about provision is a paycheck, then you know nothing about it. Whew, that's real talk right there. See, as a married man, let me tell you, provision ain't just about who pays the rent or who covers the date night bill. A real provider brings structure, stability, and peace into a woman's life. Now, that might not sound flashy, but it's the truth. You can have a man who pays for everything and still feel completely alone. Why? Because money doesn't hug you when life gets hard. Money doesn't pray with you when you're stressed out. Money doesn't lead your family through chaos, a man does. Ladies, if you want to be a wife, understand this. A good man might not always have the biggest wallet, but he'll have the biggest heart, vision, and discipline. Don't overlook a man because his 50% doesn't look like money. Sometimes his 50% is him fixing the car, protecting you, giving you peace, or pushing you toward your goals. That's provision too. Now, I'm not saying settle for broke and lazy, let's be clear. But if he's working, building, and showing up in every way he can, don't throw that away because he's not driving a Tesla yet. You might be walking away from a man who's building an empire. He's just in the foundation stage. At the end of the day, a real provider doesn't just give you things, he gives you security. He creates an environment where you can relax, grow, and feel safe. So ladies, stop looking for a man who just provides a paycheck. Look for the man who provides peace, because when a man leads with purpose, you'll never feel unprotected, even when the money's tight. That's real provision. Anyway, that's my take. What do you think? Is provision more than money, or am I tripping? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it.
So the ladies' favorite word for men today are narcissist. Narcissist is the trending word. No matter what the argument is, the men are narcissists. So I, being the investigative content creator that I am, baby, I went and looked up the word narcissist because I wanted to get a true definition. And I seen this image pop up, behaviors of a narcissist. Lack of empathy for others, has a strong desire for attention and admiration from others, consistently has problematic relationships, and has inflated sense of self-worth or importance. Wait a minute now. Isn't it always the women online complaining about how none of their relationships are working because it's the men? But the men be in relationships sometimes and they be happy, but y'all don't. That sounds like constantly being in problematic relationships. And then the overinflated self-worth. Everybody's a 10. Nobody's average because I'm a 10, right? And then on the other side, not having empathy for others. Girl, I'm going to do what I want to do because this is my life to live. It don't matter if it hurt him. F them kids. Y'all see strangers struggling and don't care. Right? And it is mostly women that be online half naked, acting a fool for what? Likes and views or admiration and attention. If the men are narcissists, how is it that the ladies are fitting these descriptive words so well? Why is it that these behaviors are found in so many women if the men are the narcissists? I'm trying to figure it out.
You know what's funny? These days, every time a man disagrees with a woman, or sets a boundary, or simply says no, boom, he's a narcissist. That's like the new magic word. You can't win. You could literally say, hey, I'd rather stay home tonight, and suddenly she's like, see? You're controlling and emotionally unavailable. But the lady in that clip made me pause for a second, because when she actually broke down what a narcissist is, it got real interesting. She said a narcissist lacks empathy, constantly needs admiration and attention, has an inflated sense of self-worth, and always ends up in messy relationships. Now, I don't know about you, but doesn't that sound a lot like what we're seeing all over social media these days? Half the people online are like, I'm a 10, I don't need a man, or it's my life, I'll do what I want, even if it hurts people. Or my favorite, if he can't handle a strong woman like me, that's his problem. Like, come on. That's not strength, that's ego wrapped in glitter. And this part really got me thinking, because it's usually the same women saying men are narcissists. But if we're being honest, a lot of those traits, the need for validation, the overconfidence, the lack of accountability, we're seeing that behavior more from women now than ever before. It's like society flipped the script. Men are now being told to be quiet, be emotional, be humble, while women are being told to be bold, loud, and self-obsessed in the name of empowerment. And look, I'm not saying confidence is bad. I love a confident woman. But when that confidence turns into, I'm better than everyone else, that's not confidence, that's narcissism in disguise. Here's the truth. Real relationships aren't built on who gets the most attention or who wins the argument. They're built on empathy, compromise, and accountability. Three things that both men and women are forgetting in this modern me-first culture. So yeah, maybe the problem isn't that all men are narcissists. Maybe the problem is that we've all become a little too self-centered. Social media made everyone the main character, and nobody wants to play the supporting role in someone else's story anymore. Ladies, if you really want a good man, stop looking for perfection and start practicing empathy. And fellas, stop letting the internet convince you that being masculine makes you toxic. Because at the end of the day, love doesn't survive in ego, it survives in humility. What do you think? Are men really the narcissists, or are we just living in a self-centered world? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I've got more real conversations coming, no sugarcoating, just truth.